Hi, it's Sydney Craig-Hart, your Smart Simple Marketing mentor, and today I wanted to talk to you about how you can show up everywhere and increase your profits in your business. When you show up everywhere, the people in your target market and your ideal prospects see you as the credible, authoritative resource that they need to go to help them solve their problems. And it makes it much easier for you to grow your business and get clients and increase your fees and be profitable, all because you have a lot of visibility and credibility. So here's some tips on how you can do that. First thing I wanted to share with you is that networking is a big part of creating visibility and showing up everywhere. Now, you may have your own definition of networking, but let's just set a baseline for what we're talking about here. Networking is not about hawking your business card, it's not about selling yourself, it's not about working the room, it's about making meaningful connections with people. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about networking, is just really focusing on an individual, developing a relationship with them and getting to know them and creating something that's mutually beneficial. Networking is also not about going to Chamber of Commerce events and all of those mixers in your city or your town. Here at Smart Simple Marketing, we always talk about focusing on your target market and your ideal client. And that's what should dictate where you spend your networking time. So let's start making it fun. You don't just have to feel like you have to show up at those dinners where they serve you $20 plastic tasting chicken, but really think about where your ideal prospects are hanging out. If you're an interior designer and you're looking to connect with busy professionals who are wanting to improve their home, check out those home and garden shows in your city. If you are targeting car mechanics, maybe go to that auto show that is coming to your city. If you are a person, I'm trying to think, I had another example I wanted to share with you. If you are targeting folks who are interested in art and culture, maybe go to a festival about art and crafts and such. If you are actually targeting people in the food and wine industry, I had a client last year who was teaching social media to restaurants and cafes. She should be at every food and wine event in her area. So make this fun for yourself. Those are networking opportunities. That's where your people are hanging out and where you need to show up and present yourself as a resource for them. Again, networking, developing connections, getting to know them. As you start identifying organizations and groups that are hosting such events and really gathering people together on these topics that you are an expert on, you also want to look for opportunities to show up in a big way. So that means volunteering. Maybe show up to be the door greeter or the visitor host, someone who's there to introduce themselves and welcome people when they first come in. Volunteer to serve on a committee. Volunteer to help plan an event. Those are great ways to get a lot of visibility that don't cost you any money and can be really easy and free to do, even if you hate traditional networking. Another thing you can do is offer to contribute content, perhaps to the organization's print newsletter, their email newsletter, their blog. Maybe you volunteer to write tweets for them or manage their Facebook profile. Any way that you can contribute content and showcase your expertise would be really valuable to the community at large, to the organization, and of course to you as an entrepreneur looking to build your business. Also look for speaking opportunities. Speaking doesn't mean giving a keynote. Speaking can be giving a 5-minute presentation, introducing someone else, serving on a panel. So again, when you do your research and you identify where your people are, you can create all of these fun, really easy ways to show up in a big way. Now, of course, the most critical piece of doing all of this showing up is your follow-up. Your fortune is in the follow-up. So if you're going to schedule time to do these different things, make sure you have time scheduled in your calendar to do your follow-up, to follow up and make the appointments, schedule the meetings, send them material, all of that stuff that you talked about with that person when you connected with them. Do your follow-up and further develop that relationship. Focus on what they need and what they want, and make yourself available as a resource. So stay tuned for next week's video when I'm going to teach you about how to give them what they want and make it easy for them to say yes to you. But for this week, keep thinking about how you can show up in a big way and make it a lot of fun for yourself. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.